Thank you very much for your patience. So first of all, I cannot tell you how much happy I am to see you, because I appreciate anyone who comes to my programs, and I consider you more advanced than me. So out of humility, you come, and you come to encourage me. Therefore, I give you all blessings, all of you. May Krishna fulfill all your good desires, only the good ones. Is that all right? Are we ready to study Bhagavad-Gītā? So we're studying chapter 17, Divisions of Faith. In the second half of tonight's class, we will study the verses in Srimad Bhagavatam that deal with that subject matter of faith. But right now we're going to cover a few verses in the Bhagavad-Gītā. If you are ready to proceed, then repeat after me. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, just to bring us up to speed, we studied the first 3 verses of this chapter, and it began with a question by Arjuna, because at the end of chapter 16, Krishna made a very important statement. Krishna said in chapter 16 that there are 3 gates leading to hell. What are those 3 gates? Lust, anger, and greed. Very good. So then Krishna said at the end, the only way that you can escape these is by following the laws of the scriptures. That is the only criteria. If you follow the rules of the scriptures, then you can escape the 3 gates to hell. So then chapter 17 began with Arjuna's question, well, what about someone who has faith in something else? So then Krishna said, well, faith can be of 3 kinds. And obviously, whenever you see 3 kinds, that means 3 gunas, the 3 ropes. Ropes means it binds you. The gunas, the ropes, the modes bind you. Even the mode of goodness is binding. So Krishna now in this chapter is going to explain how faith is in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. We left off with text number 14. Please repeat. Now, excuse me, text number 4, not 14. Text number 4. When you're ready, we can begin the chanting. Yajante satvika devan yaksha rakshangsi rajasa pretan bhuta ganansh chanye yajante tamasajana And now Prabhupada has given us the word-for-word meanings or synonyms. Yajante, worship. Sattvika, those who are in the mode of goodness. My next question is, of the four Varnas, what are the four Varnas? First of all, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Which of those is considered to be in the mode of goodness? Brahmana. And if somebody is in the mixed mode of goodness and passion, what is he? Kshatriya. Yes. And if hold on. Because the Kshatriya is in the mode of passion. If someone's in the mixed mode of goodness and passion, what kind of Kshatriya is he? Yes, because there's different kinds of Kshatriyas. Strictly in the mode of passion, that's just a regular Kshatriya. But a Kshatriya who is in the mixed modes of goodness and passion, Yes, Rajarshi. That means he's a little higher. Like Yudhishthir, like Arjuna, Parikshit, they are not. Kamsa's not a Rajarshi. King Vena in the 4th canto was not a. So not all Kshatriyas are Rajarshis. They have to be saintly kings. Katvanga and so many others. So they're in the mixed modes of goodness and passion. Then, who is in the mixed modes of passion and ignorance? Vaishyas. They're in between passion and ignorance. And then, who is in the mode of ignorance? Who's left? Shudra. And who's less than that? Yavana, Malecha, Americano. Yes?
But now there's Maharaj is all reversed, now it is popular on the calendar.
You think so? Yes. The Kali Yuga is getting worse and worse. Okay, very good. That was a good exercise. Next word. Devan, demigods. Yaksha, Rakshangsi, demons. Now, there is a category, yakshas. Yakshas are usually the servants of which demigod? Kuvera. Kuvera's assistants are usually yakshas. And those of you who have studied the 4th canto, Dhruv had to fight so many yakshas. Why? Why did Dhruva fight and kill so many yakshas? Well, they killed his brother. So, Yes, to revenge. So, 2 people came to tell Dhruva, come on, for your brother, you have killed thousands. Stop it now. So who were the 2 people who told Dhruva, enough is enough? Swayambhuva Manu, and then? Can't hear you. No. Who's in charge of the yakshas? Kuvera, obviously. Swayambhuva Manu is his, great ancestor. Because his son is, who's Swayambhuva's son? Who's Dhruva's father? Uttanapad. Uttanapad. So yes, these 2 persons told Dhruva, come on, you're better than this. You're already self-realized. You're going to go back to Godhead at the end of this lifetime. For the death of your brother, you're killing so many. Stop. Enough. Calm down. You avenged enough. So like that. Very good. Next word. Rajasa. Those who are in the mode of passion. Pretan. Spirits of the dead. Bhutaganan. Ghosts. So, who is the guru for the Pretan and the Bhuta Ganan? Lord Shiva. Yes. He is the spiritual master for those in the mode of Tamogun. Everybody has to have some leader.
But so he himself is right?
Yes. He's in charge. Not that he is. Now, but, please pay attention. When he has to perform this service of destruction, he becomes the personification of darkness and ignorance and destroys. So he takes on, just like when Brahma creates, he takes on superior potency of that mode of passion. Because to create, you have to get into that passionate mode. So the same way, when Lord Shiva has to destroy, you remember, from Mahabharata, when Ashvatthama was looking up in the tree at night, and he saw, what did Ashvatthama see in the tree? Everybody else was sleeping, but Ashvatthama got inspiration. What was happening in the tree that gave Ashvatthama some idea? Yes, wasn't it an owl? Wasn't it an owl was killing all these birds? So Ashvatthama got an idea. We should strike now and retaliate while the Pandavas' family relatives are sleeping. And the other two, who was with him? There were two people with him. I think Kripa, I'm not sure of the other, but there were two. Yeah, somebody else. So they told him, no, this is not right. But Ashvatthama said, no, we got to do it now. And he said, I don't care if you're with me or not with me. I'm going to do this. So the other two said, oh, we might as well, because we're part. So then Ashvatthama met somebody. Who did he meet? Krishna? He met a very strange person, Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva empowered him with the special potency in order to do this destruction, because Lord Shiva said, this is Krishna's plan. So Ashvatthama became like a haunted person. He became super empowered by Lord Shiva. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was just explaining how at a certain time, Lord Shiva takes on this destructive personality. So Shiva told him, it is now the destiny for all those Pandava family members, finish. So Ashvatthama became like a possessed person. He went into the camp and killed. And the other two waited outside the camp, so anyone who escaped, they killed him. And did he not take care of the whole family? And he made one mistake. What was the mistake that Ashvatthama made? No, before that. In that killing of all, he made one big mistake. No. He killed what he thought were the 5 Pandavas. But who did he actually kill? The 5 sons of the Pandavas. And he took those heads and brought it to who? And he thought that this was what? He thought that this was going to be that, no, he thought, oh, Duryodhana is going to be so happy. And what was the state of Duryodhana at this time? Well, no, but first, how was Duryodhana when Ashvatthama came? What was the physical state of Duryodhana? He's dying. He's dying. He can barely move. His spine is broken. Bhima practically has killed him. So he's just writhing in pain, but he's not dead. So he can't move, so he can't actually see the heads. And so what did he do? He wanted to feel the skulls. And because he could easily crush them, he said, this is not the Pandavas. And Duryodhana said, I was hoping that at least these 5 boys would carry on the family, because everybody had died. All of Duryodhana's brothers, right? The families were finished. So Duryodhana died in this completely, this was the last thing. Oh my God. Everything was taken away from Duryodhana. And Ashvatthama thought he had done a good thing. Yes, Maharaj.
So, which Mahabharata you are reading? Because like some of the other things, it is 40 out of...
I am reading the right Mahabharata. I am reading the Mahabharata that is, I'm answering your question. It is the one that is given in the database by ISKCON devotee, Krishna Dharmadas. As far as I know, there are many different versions of Mahabharata. I am reading the one that is in the ISKCON version. Any problem? Huh? Oh, so I have something. Now that makes me even happier. Finally. Yes. Yes, Veda. Because Duryodhana was thinking, since the entire family was annihilated, these 5 could at least carry on the family. But yes, these 5, he didn't have animosity. He only had like he was saying, not for their children. That means, in other words, Duryodhana is not completely evil. At least he had some affection for these 5 young boys. You understand? He was thinking, he wanted them to now continue the Kuru dynasty. Now it's all gone. So who was then going to carry on the Kuru dynasty? Parikshit. And in order for that to happen, somebody had to step in. Krishna. Exactly. Shall we continue? Are you enjoying tonight? Yes.
What happened after Parikshit Maharaj?
Okay, after he left. So, first of all, how did Parikshit die? Okay, what was the form of the creature that killed snake? Bird. Special. What was the name? Takshaka. Exactly. So, Parikshit's son, Janamejaya, he decided, okay, I am going to do a yajna and I am going to destroy all the snakes. So he had that, and all the snakes in the universe were entering the fire. So somebody, I don't know who's, Brahma or somebody said, no, can't do this. Stop it. Because even snakes have a purpose in God's creation. Like right now, there's a certain insect. And they're becoming extinct. And this is causing a big problem. Do you know what it is? Bees. Bees. This has been going on for a few years. Bees. What are bees' big service? Before honey, what do bees do? Yes, called pollination. Very important. But now what's been happening, because of all the ecological problems, less bees are being produced. The number has come way down. The whole balance of nature is thrown off. Right? Kali Yuga is like that. Everything is becoming worse and worse, and it's a big problem. Right? So, Janamajaya was told, stop this yagya right now. You don't know what you're doing. The snakes are also necessary in the world. Okay? Shall we continue? Next word. Cha and anye, others. Yajante, worship. Tamasa, in the mode of ignorance. Jana, people. Please repeat. Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. So, don't you find that interesting? So then who worships Vishnu? Yes, those are in pure goodness. If people in the mode of goodness worship demigods, then those who worship Vishnu must be higher. Okay? Please, what? Okay, goodness still means material contamination. The Brahman is still conditioned. The Brahman is still a conditioned soul. Just being a Brahman doesn't allow you to go back moksha. You have to be in pure goodness. No material modes. What did we learn in chapter 14? Rama. What's the verse I'm thinking of in chapter 14? Our Bhagavad-Gītā scholar. To settle this question. Huh? Chapter 14. Who gets liberated in chapter 14? And how do you transcend? According to chapter 14, that verse. How do you transcend? Yes, that's the verse. Mang chayo. Ha 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 ha. You want to transcend? You have to do devotional service how much? 1 day a week? Continuously. No check. No stop. No vacation. Mang chayo viabhicharena bhakti yogena yasevate. Sagunan samatit yaitan. Then you, because that was Arjuna's question. I've mentioned this at least 108 times, by the way. I'll mention it again, because it's one of my favorite verses. So just, Krishna Kumar, just staying in the mode of goodness, you have to come back again. The demigods are considered to be in the mode of goodness. And what to speak of the rishis and sages? They're really in the goodness. But they're still where? In the material world. But if you want to go to the spiritual world, then you have to do devotional service non-stop. Then you can become factually liberated. Okay, Krishna Kumar, you got that? Okay, those in the mode of passion worship the demons. Repeat. Yes, like you see in the material world. Who were they worshiping? People in general. The big money-making people, the big movie stars, athletes, right? I've made a joke so many times that if Ravana came to earth now, they would make him world leader. They all would. All the governments would say, Ravan, we're making you head of IMF. Now give us our planet of gold. Yes, they would worship him. Yes, because they had a city of gold. They had a kingdom of gold. So if Ravana was around today, they would make him president of the world. They would say, great, come on, just give us the gold, make us gold. Welcome, welcome. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. No, there's no such thing as late. We are on the platform of now. We are not late. Okay, continue. Please repeat. Those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Like you see nowadays, maybe you don't know, but in the West now, so many TV shows are all about this ghosts and spirits. Very popular. Zombie movies and vampire. So popular. That's in the mode of ignorance. They have so many TV, and all the young people, that's what they watch. Am I right? Of course, because they're in the mode of ignorance. All right, let's look at Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada ki. In this verse, the Supreme Personality of Godhead describes different kinds of worshipers according to their external activities. According to scriptural injunction, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipable, but those who are not very conversant with or faithful to the scriptural injunctions worship different objects according to their specific situations in the modes of material nature. Those who are situated in goodness generally worship the demigods. The demigods include Brahma, Shiva, and others such as Indra, Chandra, and the sun god. There are various demigods. Those in goodness worship a particular demigod for a particular purpose. Similarly, those who are in the mode of passion worship the demons. We recall that during the Second World War, a man in Calcutta worshipped Hitler because thanks to that war, he had amassed a large amount of wealth by dealing in the black market. Similarly, those in the modes of passion and ignorance generally select a powerful man to be God. They think that anyone can be worshipped as God and that the same results will be obtained. Now it is clearly described here that those who are in the mode of passion worship and create such gods, and those who are in the mode of ignorance and darkness worship dead spirits. Sometimes people worship at the tomb of some dead man. Sexual service is also considered to be in the mode of darkness. Similarly, in remote villages in India, there are worshippers of ghosts. We have seen that in India, the lower class people sometimes go to the forest, and if they have knowledge that a ghost lives in a tree, they worship that tree and offer sacrifices. These different kinds of worship are not actually God worship. See here? God worship is for persons who are transcendentally situated in pure goodness. Isn't that what I said? See? Aren't you glad that you have somebody who studies the books? See? You can thank me later. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Satvang Vishuddhang Vasudeva Shabditam. Does anybody know who said those words? Who said that line? This will tell me if somebody knows Bhagavatam. We have studied this before. Maybe Nityanandi knows. Nityanandi, who said these words? Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. You know. Maybe your father knows. Radha Krishna Das. I'm putting you on the spot. Who said this line? Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. In the 4th canto. Not Rishabdev. Good. Who said that? Who said that? You knew that? Come here. How did you know that? You are very see, nobody else knew. Come here and get your blessings. Rohan, very good. I'm so proud of you. Rohan knew it was, who was he speaking it to? Sati, what's their relationship? My God, Rohan, how did you become an acharya? Oh my God. Unbelievable. Outrageous. Huh? Lord Shiva, here's the story. Sati's father is who? Daksha. Daksha had criticized Lord Shiva in public. Later, when they went home, Sati wanted to go to another function. So Shiva was trying to tell her, don't go. And then he was explaining, me, I am always in Krishna consciousness. I have nothing to do with all this material things. And then Lord Shiva said, if you go, something's going to happen. You're going to be insulted. And that insult is going to be worse than death. And what exactly happened? Her father insulted her. She decided to give up her body right there in front of everybody. Her body burst into flames. And then she took birth as what? Parvati or Himavati, right? Daughter of the Himalayas. Isn't that also known as Himavati? Okay? Ah. Is that how you knew Rohan? You've been reading? Okay. All right. Okay, let's continue. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Satvang Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. When a man is situated in pure goodness, he worships Vasudeva. What are the two meanings of the word Vasudeva? Two meanings. Son of Vasudeva. And what's the other esoteric meaning? Patuk. All pervading, not only that, and cognizant of his all pervading feature. Not just all pervasive, but he knows. And he's all pervasive in what? Two ways. Two ways he's all pervasive. As what? Yes, the energy, all the energy, and he's in the heart of every living entity and every atom. Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Let's continue. The impersonalists are supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness, and they worship 5 kinds of demigods. They worship the impersonal Vishnu form in the material world, which is known as philosophized Vishnu. Vishnu is the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the impersonalists, because they do not ultimately believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, imagine that the Vishnu form is just another aspect of the impersonal Brahman. But Rama, what verse in Brahma in the 14th chapter disproves that Vishnu is a form of the impersonal? Brahmano hi pratishtaham. And you've heard me say, don't be spiritually dyslexic. Right? Dyslexic means you put the last first and the first last. So, many people think Krishna comes from Brahman. But this verse in Bhagavad-Gītā, Brahmano hi pratishtaham, Krishna says, Brahman rests on me, comes from me. Big difference. Yes, your Chatushloki. And the example I gave just last week, by the way, last week at this time, I was in Santiago, and as soon as the kirtan started, we had earthquake. Yes. But we passed the test. We were in the Hindu temple, and the priest and somebody else immediately got up and held the deities, and I just kept going with the kirtan. And it only lasted a few seconds, but you could tell it was earthquake. But we passed. San Francisco. Oh, that's right. Up. Yes, yes. So the test is, don't freak out. Keep on chanting. Write it out. Okay. Similarly, they imagine that Lord Brahma is the impersonal form in the material mode of passion. Thus, they sometimes describe 5 kinds of gods that are worshipable, but because they think the actual truth is impersonal Brahman, they dispose of all worshipable objects at the ultimate end. This system, by the way, of 5 kinds of gods, this was started by Shankaracharya. It's called Pancha Upasana or Panchopasana. That was his system. In conclusion, the different qualities of the material modes of nature can be purified through association with persons who are of transcendental nature. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra, please. Krishna Kumar, you have a question. Go ahead. Uh-huh.
Now you mentioned 5 minutes ago that we are conditioned souls and we are not into goodness.
But you're on the path. You have accepted. So at least your faith is in pure goodness, because the chapter is faith. So you may not be 100% situated in pure goodness, but at least your faith is in pure goodness because you have accepted the worship of Vishnu or Krishna. That's the explanation. Yes, we're not completely pure yet, but at least your faith is. At least you have understood, this is who I should worship. And not only that, you are following. Just like Prabhupada writes, You may not be a pure chanter, but if you follow in the footsteps of a pure chanter, you will become a pure chanter. You understand? In another purport, Prabhupada says, because this whole discussion of who's a pure devotee, you can be a neophyte pure devotee, a madhyam pure devotee, and an uttama pure devotee. And each of those, you can be a neophyte madhya, a neophyte uttama. You can be a madhyam neophyte, a madhyam, like that. There's so many divisions. So, you will read sometimes, Prabhupada said, anyone who accepts Krishna as God can be considered a pure devotee, as opposed to those who still think that demigods are all in all. Just the fact that you accept Krishna as the supreme, that alone puts you in at least the neophyte stage of pure devotee. Welcome, pure devotee. Yes. Okay, he already mentioned. So, they worship sometimes Ganesh. They sometimes worship Surya, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And Durga, yes. But they are thinking, here's the philosophy. As I said, it comes from Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya actually says there is no God. All there is impersonal oneness, Brahman. But it's difficult for you to come to that stage. So in this stage, you can worship one of these 5 gods because it's easier for you. And eventually you will come to realize that there is no God, that you are God, and that we're all one. But in the preliminary stage, yes, do your worship these impersonal representations of the Supreme. In other words, don't waste your time on it, because you are already on what path? What did we learn in chapter 12? Okay, in chapter 12, what was the question Arjuna opened chapter 12? Here's someone who knows Bhagavad-Gītā. Any question I ask, she'll get 95%. Arjuna's question was, should I worship you impersonally or personally? And what was Krishna's first response? Difficult. Klesho, adhikataras tesham. Trouble, trouble, trouble. So Shankaracharya said, yes, it's going to be very difficult. So you imagine the impersonal Brahman as either Ganesh, Durga, Shiva, Surya, Brahma, like that. And when you actually become purified, then you realize, no, it is Brahman, impersonal, one. You are God. You are God. You simply forgot that you were God. That's the crux of Shankaracharya's philosophy. It's very attractive. You are God. You just forgot. Now do meditation, do austerities, and you will remember that you are God. Money, please. Yes, Krishna Kumar.
I forgot to study the Bhagavad-Gītā last week because I wanted to something on Ganesh.
What do I know about Ganesh?
You can find something.
I only know one thing from the Brahma Samhita. Okay, I will read that at the very end.
Yes.
Okay? Now, I want everyone to chant japa.